All right, and we're live. So I guess it's just the three of us for now. I think Dave. What happened was Dave saw what we were talking about tonight, and I know he doesn't like that third Turtles movie at all. So even just talking about NECA coming out with figures. So if anybody's wondering, we are going to cover those tonight. So Dave's not here with us right now, but I do have some exclusive footage of how he's spending his evening. If you guys care to see that.
I care. Come on.
You care? All right, let's roll it.
I like turtles.
Really?
I guess he's spending his night trying to get the I Like Turtles kid out of his house. So, well, he's not here to say it, so I'll just go ahead and roll.
Fab Studios presents Figure Action. That one's me.
Hey,
All
they
right.
updated the mobile thing again. I can see comments all the time now.
Oh, there you go. So now T can be in on the chat. And if you want to be in on that chat, if you're watching us here on YouTube live, we've already got a whole bunch of cool folks hanging out with us over in the chat. Pop in. We'll be highlighting your comments throughout the course of tonight's show. So while you're at it, make sure you slam that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber already, ring that notification bell, all that good stuff, as well as checking the link in the description below where we have our Teespring store. We've got some of the best priced podcasting merch on the web, and you're going to look good and help us out by picking it up. So I know Sony is traveling. We're actually doing a meetup with him tomorrow. So we might actually go live at some point. So again, make sure you subscribe to T-Man 978.
Yeah, man. Too much fun for that.
Yeah, you never know. You've gone live before at these things.
Yeah.
So you never know. Either that or we'll have some footage and we'll put it up after the fact. So, yeah, Sony's traveling. I believe Joe might be popping in tonight. He said he might make an appearance. And
Matt might be as well.
Matt might
Dave
be
is
as well.
supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I forgot what he said.
Yeah, if Dave swings by, he'll be in, and then he'll tell us whether or not he get rid of the turtle kid. Anyway, I think I covered all of our bases here. Like Sid McLattery says, is it a Sony free night? I honestly prefer Nintendo. Anyways, we got Antoine Lewis hanging out with us, Mariano Chacon, Jose Cortez, Princeton Phalanx. We've got TF Hustler. We've got Mark 44 Prime, our boy Antoine Lewis from Third Party Unlimited. So we got a whole bunch of cool folks. If you want to chat with them or us, get in that live chat over there. It's a lot of fun. We got a lot of stuff to cover tonight, so let's not waste any time.
Down there.
Let's not waste any time. Let's find out how everybody's doing. If you got anything cool this week, starting off with a man who you know, you love, you've clicked on a bunch of his reviews, Mr. T-Man 978T. How are you doing? I gotta clip that smile.
I am okay. What I get? I got this Batman because he had thigh swivel, and I was like, I want to see how that works. It definitely makes posing easier. And he has a soft goods cape, and he can look up, and he has exchangeable hands, and he can ride this bike that comes separately for $30, unless you wait for clearance. And but he has some other stuff going on, so I'll talk about that in a review. Then I was lucky enough yesterday to walk in a Target over in the electronics section or the adult collector section. And I found Day Long, from the Jada Toys Street Fighter. And Ryu. Hadouken.
Mike, I've been looking for you, man. I really have been looking, and I have not seen him at all.
Well, I don't remember that being on the list, or I would have said there was one more Ryu. You want both of them or just Ryu?
I don't know yet. I just
Matt has dibs on Fei Long, if I see that.
Oh, no worries, man.
But good. I think that's gonna be it. But if it's not, that's all I'm gonna show.
All right. Well, next up, we got Junkion Crafts and Build, Mr. Mike Rogers. Mike, how the heck are you doing? And did you get anything cool?
Hi, you caught me while I was cutting out my action points from my Action Force figure here, or gear, but that's something else later on. I'm doing well. Actually had a good week at work in regards to dealing with people. So let's see what I get. Last Saturday, thanks to the DMV action figure Facebook page, I found that the Target in White Marsh had some figures. So I went there last Saturday morning and I found the Tracksuit Mafia guys.
Da, 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 da.
I found M, Monet, Saint Croix, because I was corrected already because of her French heritage. That's how you're supposed to say it. And, I got to have him here. And the astonishing Ant-Man. So I thought they were pretty neat. The head sculpt on this guy is really, really nice. What else? I popped my McFarlane Toys cherry. And also Saturday, I found this guy at Walmart. So it's the Page Puncher Black Manta from the Aquaman wave. I was thoroughly impressed with this. And it's kind of a tale of two McFarlanes, because then I also found a 89 Batman. And the difference between the two is pretty substantial. And last thing, because eBay's evil and I can't get off of it, for a grand total, I forgot to put my phone. Oh, whatever, I'll fix it. For $8 after an offer, I found another thing to customize, and that is this. This is a 2018 Mattel Missions Batman. It fits a 12-inch Batman figure, but I definitely can modify it and make it fit for my 6-inch Batman or 7-inch. But yeah, it was like $8 and then $4 for shipping. So pretty cool. But that's it.
Very cool.
I haven't made an eBay purchase in forever.
I know it's been a while for me.
Don't do it. Well, I was starting to sell my War for Cybertron collection, and then I was looking up other things and fell down that rabbit hole.
Just sell, don't browse.
All right. Well, I guess that leaves me till the others show up. So I've been doing pretty good. I was originally supposed to be in Delaware all week, and that didn't happen. So I got to do my job remotely, it worked out for the best because I had some long days this week. But we've got Sony coming up. He's going to be in Maryland. Is he already? Mike, do you know is he already here or?
I haven't heard from him. I know he's been off and on because of work. I didn't even know where he was actually at this week. So
he said he might be able to join by phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get the details then, but he's going to be up and visiting, and we're going to have the crew over my house tomorrow, so that'll be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to a 3-day weekend and doing some barbecuing for the family. And as far as acquisitions go, it's been a light week for me. I got the Bumblebee from the Studio Series Gamerverse line, and one of the things I figured out is he does actually have weapon storage. You can take his arm, and there's that strut that's connected to that C-clip that keeps his backpack on. Oh, it fell off, but it actually does stay in there pretty good. I shared the video I made, and Kato and Inutabi used it as freebie material for their channels. So it's my footage, but they had permission to use it. So
Dare they?
I gave them permission. I said it's cool. It's an okay figure. I've already done stuff to mine. Like I popped the hips off the ball joints and rotated them around at the upper thigh swivel. That way he has the inward ankle articulation.
No waist rotation?
He does have waist rotation, but if you just flip his hips around, he's got waffle butt. So, you have to, if you want him to have the inward ankle pivot, you have to pop the hips off at the ball joint and then
Can it
swap
still
them.
transform?
Oh, absolutely. Because the only thing that's different is if you want to transform them, you just have to rotate the waist and then rotate the legs to get them back in the regular orientation.
Basically, they put the legs on wrong.
Yeah, it reminds me of that Human Alliance Bumblebee from Revenge of the Fallen. Like in terms of how they had the legs kind of misassembled, but not really. And Jay Hall, I got all of my Gamerverse ones off of Amazon, but apparently people are finding all of them in GameStop. So, it's rare that GameStop carries Transformers, but check your GameStop if you're trying to find a brick and mortar. I got this guy unexpectedly early. This is the STO1. What was his name? It's basically, I think this is Deformation Space. Yeah. I know it's Blitzwing, but I can't remember what his third party name is.
Lightning.
Yeah, it said a bunch of stuff. I got this from TF Safari. I used a coupon. Basically, he's like $70-$80 cheaper than US retail there. This is a really good figure, like really, really good. He's basic in terms of accessories, but like the tolerances feel good. The materials feel really good. He's not caked in paint or anything, but the paint applications, God, it won't focus.
Two swords or one?
He comes with one sword.
And an alternate face.
Yeah. So one sword, alternate face, gun. And TF Safari was kind enough to provide some dry transfer decals. So this is actually now it's like tamper graphed on, and he just looks really, really good.
Here's the deal breaker for me. Does it come with two giant fists?
No, it does not come with two giant fists.
I can't get it. I can't get it.
If you have the Legacy one, they might be compatible, But yeah, I recommend him. I was really impressed with TF Safari. So I have another package that's tied up with Show Z, the Transarts, the Transarts Megatron, the Beast Wars Transmetal Megatron, and that has been held up for like a couple of weeks at this point. Whereas the TF Safari got me that in 9 days from like when I bought it all the way from China to the US to me. 9 days. I was really impressed. And like I ordered that Megatron last month. So yeah, I had a really good experience with TF Safari. Recommend them. So, well, we got a lot of stuff to talk about and to get into. And Mariano, that Blitzwing is really good. Now I got to sell my X-Transpots one or my KFC one because, God, I have never liked Ditka. Never liked that figure at all. So I'm glad to finally have him go on. And one last thing, I guess, on this guy is I don't feel like I need the fans toys after this. Like, I think this is good enough. And looking at pictures of the fans toys versus this, I think this really nails the Toon aesthetic. Like, exactly. Close enough is good enough. No, Ditko was not close enough. Ditko was lucky if he could stand. This guy stands flawlessly, and they gave him really solid heel spurs. So, die-cast heel spurs.
I don't remember what that one looks like. I keep thinking about Sugar.
Ditka looked more Toon accurate than Chigurh by like 5 miles.
Yeah.
But the problem with Ditko was his tolerances were really bad. He had issues standing. And because things were pinned on and not screwed on, like the feet, like you had to prop him up against the wall. Otherwise, he was not going to stand up because he was so back heavy.
Yeah.
So, and the fingers and the hands were really bad. Like this guy, like his weapons are not going anywhere. And he's very, very sturdy.
Cool.
So, let's get into some Transformers news because, Mariano, I got him from TF Safari. So, there are coupons out there. He retailed for $114, and I used a coupon on him. There are a couple coupons that I used. So, check out for those coupons. Coupon codes. I think they gave me one for being a new customer, and then another for like a subscribe. Like one of the YouTuber promos.
Awesome.
Now we have Dave. Dave, did you happen to catch the intro?
No, I was busy.
I think
Gotta
we need to
come
go back in
to
time and
the
see it
show.
again.
We could rerun the
Wait,
intro.
okay.
Uh,
Oh God, how bad?
so, well, it's not that it's bad. It's just we were, I know how much you hate
Make them
the third Ninja Turtles movie. So, we were. This was basically explaining where you were
This
while
ain't
we were starting
three.
the show up. What's that?
I just hate
Saving the
three.
time warp.
I don't know.
I heard
Something three.
something 3.
I just hate Ninja Turtles 3. That's the only one I hate.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is that you saw
I like 1 and 2.
you saw the title card and it enraged you. So I'm gonna roll that
It
footage
didn't enrage
again.
me. But... Oh boy.
I like turtles.
Really? I don't hate that one.
Out of
Actually.
your house.
I don't hate. Huh?
Did you get him out of your house?
Yeah, the Turtle Kid.
That's nah. My daughter loves Darby Allen, so that's the closest thing.
Fair
He's
enough.
a wrestler, by the way.
Well, before we get into our news, how the hell are you? And did you do anything cool this week?
Not that bad actually. As far as cool things gotten, I only got one thing, and that's this lovely number right here, which is the Medieval Spawn. Target had them for $25, and I had about $4 left in Target coupon rebate stuff, so I got him for $20. I'm looking forward to reviewing him this week. Though I'll probably do one of my reviews where I do the review, pause the review, paint this guy up, and finish the review with him painted. Because this guy needs more paint. The texturing is there, but I'm just looking at the box. It's like he's too clean. Oh God, Henry's here, and then
And Larkin's here too.
I've had this guitar. I've had this guitar since I was 18 years old. I am 44. I have not played this guitar since I was 27. I am 44. Do the math. I restrung this guy up. I've been getting back to playing guitar, and I forgot how good and how smooth this guy is to play. And so this has pretty much been my life the last couple days. For those of you friends with me on Facebook, I actually play a little of the acoustic I have, but I love this thing. I have missed this so much, and so I've pretty much refurbishing all my guitars and just getting back into playing. So who knows? Just got to get everything cleaned up, looking pretty, and I got my amps and pity my neighbors. That's all I can say. So that's me.
Right on.
Oh, and the plumbing gets inspected tomorrow. The plumbing gets inspected, so this drama might finally, truly, actually be over.
You don't want to jinx yourself, though.
And I mean it this time. No.
All right. Well, while you jam out to the call,
I'm putting it back. I'm putting it back. I'm putting it down.
Oh, this
I'm putting it down.
let's get into some interesting Transformers. Well, it's always interesting, isn't it? But we're gonna kick it off with some animatronic stuff because we had a few announcements. So we'll do the lamer one first. So you guys remember back when they had that Ultimate Bumblebee in 2007?
Yep.
Yeah. So it looks like we're getting returned to those animatronic figures. So we're getting this animatronic Optimus Primal, and I mean it looks like a fun kid's toy. Wow. Per se, I mean, there's a video with I forget what the guy's name is. He does the Transformers live streams, going over how this thing works. What's
What do you have to
silly?
yell to make them transform?
Yeah, he said it's sound. It recognizes sound but not voice.
Hmm.
And he's got
Sounds like
buttons
Donkey
all over
Kong.
the spine. No one has shown whether or not the swords actually come out of the hands either. Because
I think they do because I seen one. One.
yeah,
There you
right
go.
here.
You know what? You know what? Collectors, leave this guy on the shelves for the kids. That's all I'm going to say. Just leave
Yeah,
this one on the shelves for the kids.
It's like that remote controlled Optimus Prime, like that. That's definitely a thing for kids. I mean, this is it's interesting because this is like probably like an original design for Optimus Primal. And yeah, Jose is right. This thing is selling for $124. That's a no from me, Doug. Like the way it transforms is kind of silly. I mean, he basically it's not,
Friday sale.
Kevin will buy it.
But I mean, it's interesting that the legs telescope to get him into gorilla mode. I thought that was neat because you never see that, but it is just the most basic transformation, and it really is for the kids. The thing that I thought
basic.
what I thought was really
calendar for iced lattes.
what I thought was really ridiculous is like watching the demo video is like the gorilla head is just on a hinge and it just kept flopping down when he was supposed to be in robot mode, and it's like they're doing the product demonstration for it, and it's not doing a good job selling it. So we got a couple of new.
I think it's safe to say we're not the target audience for that. So you know what?
Oh, not at all.
They're not Roboson.
They are not Roboson, but Roboson's 2 new reveals finally happened. I gotta say, I'm less than impressed with either of them, to be honest. So we'll do the less impressive one first. So that being the Optimus
Put my
Prime.
pants on.
So you didn't have to be that self-deprecating, Dave. So Rise of the Beast, Optimus Prime. I don't think we've ever seen this axe before on him. There's let me see if I can run this video. Hopefully we don't get flagged. I'm gonna cut the audio too. But what's interesting is they just kind of give like this sizzle reel, right? Showing he's got the lights, he's very animated. But if you notice, he's on a base this entire time. They don't show him like up and walking around or doing anything, which makes me wonder like how stable is he? I mean, here he's shown off the base.
As weird as it is, I actually don't mind. I actually kind of prefer that in a way because then he can do all these crazy animated jumps and things like that, and he's there on the base.
You can do the iconic pull the gun out thing with the leg forward.
Exactly. That's kind of where I'm at there.
Yeah, I do think it makes for a better display piece because with the Roboson G1 Prime, if you have him in robot mode, the best you can do is have him like kind of like down, hunched over his knees. Whereas this, I guess you can.
I could put that on top of a glass cabinet and still have him do all that cool stuff. And I know it's not going to be like vibrating the cabinet or trying to stomp its way through.
Yeah.
What if when you turn him off, he just hangs down like this?
Well, that's what I'd worry about. And I just kind of feel like, for me, the allure of the G1 Prime is that I'm kind of beating a dead horse at this point. Is that he does what he does? I would rather have and I do have the 3.0 Optimus. So for me, this is it's neat that it exists, but I personally have
as
no
weird
interest.
as it, actually, of all the robots and stuff, this is kind of what I kind of dig.
Fair enough. I mean, options are good. Larkin brings up a good point.
Aesthetically,
Does the stand charge him? They don't really give all that.
No,
all
they'd
that
be plugged
much
in the wrong
details.
place. Will shock them.
Jeez.
no, Hasbro charges you.
Dated images, battle damage finish, say serialized.
How much is
Yeah,
that?
I don't know. So he's $700
Never
$700.
mind. Anyway, on to the next. Never mind. On to the next.
Well, so the next one, he's much
It has
cheaper.
30 servos.
Well,
Beautiful.
well, that's the thing is that the first Optimus had like what 60 or 70 servos.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, and this is because we got the early bird pricing on that Optimus, and I know like inflation is what it is, but yeah. So this guy comes
Does it
in.
do the voice?
Does which one do the voice tape?
This one, Bumblebee.
Yeah, so Dan Gillison is doing the voice of this Bumblebee, and they have like their own kind of like sizzle reel as well. I'm killing the audio just to try and keep us from getting flagged.
Do you have a price on him?
Yeah, he's $425. But while he's $425, they do show him next.
978.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So this one's a little bit more impressive because they highlight he has better servos than the original Prime. He has 2 walking speeds, and he is super balanced.
Oh,
So he can really do a lot of crazy animated animatronic robot stuff.
Can he work in Optimus's trailer?
I don't know. They do show that there's a theater mode where he can actually interact with the regular Roboson Prime. But I also don't know whether they're showing him next to the first one or the Elite version.
Probably Elite.
So I'm guessing that's the Elite. Yeah, that's the Elite version. So
That looks so awful. It looks like something you would see at an amusement park,
yeah.
but smaller.
I think
So
I think T-Man's already. There's a his tank for sale, guys.
yeah, there he is next to a person, so you can get an idea. He's not small by any means.
no.
But yeah, I do agree with Stern Games Go that Matrix size that was impressive for. But I think the benefit to him not transforming is they gave him the big footprint there, so he's very very balanced.
Cool.
But, yeah, neither of them are for me. Let's go ahead. We'll get into let's before we get into regular news, we'll actually cover some Jada stuff here. So Jada is doing Rise of the Beasts. They're doing 1/24 scale vehicles. These are already out. These were found, I believe, at Target or no Walmart. So they got Bumblebee. Yeah. So the Hollywood rides.
Do they come with people?
It doesn't appear. It looks like they just come with these chromed out Autobot insignias, which
You can put on your car.
right.
Actually, no, it has a base on it.
Yeah.
Guess
You
you
put
can
on your hood.
shave the base off.
Hey, what's that? What's that show on the
A
bottom?
hood ornament.
Oh, so in the bottom it's their robot mode. So you can
Oh,
flip
okay.
it up and be like, hey, it's
Didn't they do something like that for
Yes.
One of the other ones.
yeah.
Last night,
yeah, they've done that
No, not the
for
one before the last night.
I have Hot Rod.
well, they've done it for Age of Extinction, and I think they did Dark of the Moon.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Age of
Yeah.
Extinction.
Whoever was making their little Matchbox size cars, they did the same thing too.
Yeah, it's been a thing for I think as long as they've been doing these.
I wish that existed when I was a kid because I didn't have Transformers, so I would stand the car up and pretend.
That's
Well,
basically
before
Turbo
I
the
had,
GoBot.
let me say that. I don't want to sound that unfortunate.
And then
We're talking
they've
a
got-
week before he got his first Transformer.
Poor unfortunate souls. None of us are buying it.
All right. Next up, we'll get into the regular Transformers news now. So we've saw this as a listing from JT Prime. Now someone's got it in hand. This showed up on eBay as a probably stolen sample. But we're going to look at the Toxitron Collection G2 Mirage. So this guy was a big deal when he came out as a TFCon exclusive because he was this deco of Mirage was never commercially released. That said, there's a couple things about it that I'm not too keen on. I wish that they had used the toy head to differentiate him rather than the the G1 cartoon style head. And also, I wish they'd found a way to put the Gator tampagraphs instead. They have like the Gator tampagraphs on his spoiler. I really wish they found a way to put them on the side.
Oh, I thought it was going to be water and melon. Those were the two problems.
Watch Toy Hacks do that. Like
So if you invert white and blue, it turns into pink and green.
What's that?
I said if you make the colors inverted for white and blue, you get red, pink, and green.
Yeah, that was the whole thing for G2. G2 was almost all the inverted colors.
Yeah.
That was the shtick.
I also don't dig the gray plastic. I wish they just, again, it's a store exclusive. I wish they just picked out more of that in silver to really make it pop.
Zyrtec, Mariano. Zyrtec.
I'm going to see this all the time. Unlike with Crasher, which I never saw.
I saw Crasher recently. If you're
who are gaudy about these G2 colors, for us who are old, this was reality for us back in the days in the 90s when the G2 stuff came out. So
yeah, it was a radical.
Your complaints are falling in deaf ears.
Back in my day, those are the Transformers we got, and we liked it.
Nope. When I was older and I could actually kind of afford G2, I was like, why did they mess up the colors? And then I just didn't collect toys.
Preston, I'd be worried if this guy had seeds in him. And then
a really big fan.
Effortless Zerando says we don't have the Walmart exclusive Siege version of this Mirage. We'll pick them up if I find them. Yeah, I've seen Crasher around multiple times, and I know people have been looking. So
never saw Crasher, never saw Cosmos.
Cosmos I saw once, and that was the time I bought him.
Yeah, I saw Crasher twice. That's about it.
So, in the hey, can't believe this is coming. Shattered Glass Rodimus. Now, I think this is really cool. This is probably going to be Hasbro Pulse exclusive. It's really cool that they did a new face sculpt. But what I find interesting, and I don't know if this is how they photographed it, but is it just me or does he look taller?
He looks taller and the fin looks bigger, but I think it's photography.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell.
Black makes you slimmer, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, why is the black one bigger?
Wait, I have a gift for that. Yeah. So, I mean, this looks nice. I think they've done a really good job.
That thing is taller.
Right there, they're the same height.
The head's just a little taller.
It's an optical illusion.
I just can't tell it. To me, it looks like they might have extended. And again, it's hard to tell because the orange washes out a lot of the details that you can see in the silver. Yeah.
Is this a video?
It is not. It is not a video, but yeah, it looks like he's marginally taller. I don't know how.
No,
I mean,
look at the V plates. Those V plates are two different. The wings are in two different spots, especially if you look at the back shot.
Yeah.
Well, if this person has it, we'll see this review in a second.
Yeah.
Or else it's how the legs are attached to the waist. Maybe they're a little lower. Or how he has it how he has it angled.
Yeah, it looks like he comes with all the same stuff that the original one had, so he's gonna get that Voyager price point.
I'm surprised to say that this figure is slightly bigger.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything there as far as them confirming that it is taller.
Yeah, I think it's the same height.
Unless they made this area like where the upper part of the thighs I don't know if it's an illusion or what.
When I saw those two pictures of the back to back, when it showed both their backs.
No, the spoiler is easy for them to make that big.
Yeah. I mean, and to Larkin's point, it seems like he's closer to the camera, but not by that much. Not to give that illusion. Like here, yeah, he's a little bit closer, but not that much closer to give him.
My final answer, same size, and we're gonna find out.
We will find out very soon. Typically, when these samples leak, you get the reviewers giving you all the comparisons.
It looks super cool.
I will love him from a distance.
Let's see here. We have
Distance.
more exclusive. So this one is in Mexico. It looks to be very similar to the one that is coming out in Cinemark, but Cineopolis, Mexico. They're doing the Optimus Prime popcorn bucket, which this to me looks to be the same one at Cinemark, or the one that Cinemark's getting.
Okay,
but they're also
cool.
getting a totem cup, and you get a look at the popcorn bucket. Like I would love one of these popcorn buckets.
Is it
be honest.
$50 like that car?
No, I don't think so. I mean, typically when they have this stuff at Cinemark, it's like $20, which you at least get. Hey, you get a thing of popcorn with it, so it offsets the price a little bit.
That car is 50.
Yeah. So,
Cinepolis.
Well, that car's got a top, a bottom, and a middle.
yeah,
They're probably the same company.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Popcorn.
Next up, we got some figures that are hitting stores now. I know stores are continuing to do their resets for Rise of the Beast. I know Target's doing their reset for Rise of the Beast, and people are finding the new core class Swoop and Scar. So let me go back. These were
me. My store reset and just took the old stock and put it over there.
so these were found, and I clicking the image just takes me to the forum post. But these were found in California. I don't know if they're hitting the East Coast yet, but the wave is a reissue of Starscream, Swoop, and Scar. So I don't know that they had previously announced that Starscream was getting a reissue for Legacy Evolution. I mean, it's cool that they're doing that, but I don't think that was previously announced that they were doing that. They presented Dirge as if he was going to be a brand new figure, but this core class Starscream, they didn't say anything. I think it's good, though. I would have rather seen them do Skywarp and given him the proper arm cannons.
I'm not seeing pictures if you're showing pictures.
I can't click on this picture here because when I do, it just takes me to their forum post and it's a bunch of memes. So we got one more bit of official news here. We'll go back up to this. We got some in-hand pictures of and I know you're going to be excited for this one, the Armada Megatron. So, of course,
that was better than it should.
Yeah.
I watched the review.
Yeah, so Prime versus Prime, whether you love him or hate him, he's got this guy in hand. He's got a whole gallery, and it appears this figure does not disappoint.
Life is too short to hate.
I'd say the only concern or only criticism I have of the figure is I wish they'd found a way to give him like a hand dagger, like not even a flip out one, but just give him a little dagger that he could hold. Now their solution is kind of silly. The horns on his head are on 5mm ports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the wrist knife.
It's not the wrist knife. And like it's interesting how they engineered his hands here. Like he's got a post on the back. It's like, well, they could have had.
I like that. I actually like the cannon hand when I seen it posed. I didn't like it at first, but
I mean, it's an option, and options are good. So it's like they could have found a way to give him a dagger that's stuck in there, even though that's not accurate to how it was. There's the money shot right there.
Larkin,
regular.
They gave him
Prime,
leg
you were
filler.
small and puny.
I like that.
What was that, T?
Said I like that they gave him leg fillers.
Yeah. And all the comparisons you'd want. So there he is with the commander class combined up.
So go back to Megatron. I forgot about that comparison.
Yeah. So
I actually like the
Same
Armada
time.
version of that mold better.
I still have mine.
I sold them, both of them, because
I
they don't have ankle pivot. That drove me up the wall.
Well, they have it, but it's not real.
Yeah, and the legs were just as bad as like Masterpiece Megatron.
Yeah, the legs are very, very spindly.
But I like that mold better as Armada than as G1 Megatron. It just there was something. It had a good feel to it.
Yeah.
And you could if you half-assed it right, there's a way to make it look like you had the hip cannon.
I'm glad I sold it because I like what they're actually giving us. The real.
Oh no, I love it.
Armada
I absolutely love this Megatron.
Remember, a lot of people
I think
were
this is-
making that their Masterpiece Megatron.
Oh, I remember, and you know, it's funny to think back to that period. You know, we kind of thought, and I remember prior to him getting announced, there's a big consensus that they couldn't do a gun Megatron, and then if they could, would importers even allow him in? And you know, I still have my Apollyon, and to this day, I have not been able to get the orange cap off of his scope. So
My official Megatron, they never even glued the orange things in.
I did Amazon Japan, so it was a non-issue. And then when I got the infinite transformation one for my battle damaged one, that came from GCI, so he didn't need he was like, fucking, I don't do that. So
He was distracted by the things in life.
he very much was. And there's basically all the waffles on this guy, other than the fact that he doesn't have the forearm covers, are kind of in the top of the turret. But yeah,
This is probably one of my favorite figures I've seen from Hasbro in ages on the Transformer line, believe it or not.
yeah. Now, if we could get a better Star Saber.
Cool. Next.
All right. So, let's see. I think I said that was the last that we had for, and I know Mike put the notes together, so I'm just trying to make sure that I've got everything.
I mean,
I was a little bored
I'll
today.
admit, I enjoyed the Unicron trilogy, so I really do like this mold a lot. So
Yeah.
Once you got past the kids,
that's when I got into. Well, this is when I got into collecting. So the cartoon I wasn't a fan of, but the designs I really liked. Well, okay, I liked the third one, but it had nothing to do with Armada and Energon, the US. So that's me going elitist. Technically, the third part of the trilogy was a different show altogether in Japan, Galaxy Force.
So I found this by way of Third Party Unlimited. Now I'm not in on Kang Toys at all. Like I think that they make a good looking product, but the aesthetics are not for me. But I can see a lot of people getting in on this, and this is their big reveal. This appears to be their Dinobots.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a good look at their version of Snarl here. And is there a way for me to make this bigger?
It's a neat take on it. I'll give it that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, for people that are big Dinobot collectors, let me see. Thank you, Weibo. So, Weibo, you can. So, I mean, these kind of have like I don't want to say they have like Brave vibes, but I can see a lot of
I
Dinobot
exactly what
fans.
you're talking about with that.
Yeah.
Well, because in the Brave series, the Dinobots were actually villains. They were called the Geists, and they actually three of them could combine the Shadow Geist. So that was like an animation-only combiner. It kind of gives me more of a Zoid feel than a Brave.
Yeah, I can definitely get the Zoids vibe, and I don't know why I never really put that together when looking at their Predaking.
Oh, especially the
There's
gorilla. The gorilla looks like the first gorilla.
Thorilla. I feel I know a lot of people were wanting that Thorilla as a one-off, just as Optimus Primal fans.
Yeah. I just like it because it's different. It's not following the tune and everything. It's neat. It's got enough angles and makes me want to keep looking at it to figure out how it works. So that's a win.
And the thing, I mean, as weird as it is, I like their designs. I think by doing the whole Kang thing as the Predacons and doing this as the Dinobots, I think that's their problem. I think they should just be doing these animal modes and doing a completely different color scheme. Like, I'm looking at these dinosaurs. Could you imagine them in a black and gold color scheme? That would look
I'm sure they'll do it.
Well,
I mean,
but instead of Dinobot colors, it's like the traditional colors, like the same as those Predacons. If they were in non-Predacon colors, like they would just look so good.
Because I'll tell you,
And
like,
you'd be like, it's just the animal.
The MMC Nero Rex, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Where they did, they did
In black and purple.
Predaking. Yeah. I feel like if Kang Toys did that deco with their figure, I mean, I think there's a lot of people that would be like all over that. So for anybody that's never seen it, this was one of the earlier MMC figures there, and this was I think for a while it was an exclusive repaint. But yeah, they're Predaking uniform color scheme, black, gold, and silver.
But and I mean, Kang. What I like about Kang has done with their aesthetic is the fact of all the pieces are Transformers and combiners. Like even the feet pieces are combiners. The hands were were a robot. So normally that would be the traditional robot kibble was something, and
it's an interesting solution to platforming.
It is, and I said their biggest mistake, honestly, is by going for taking the Transformers aesthetic, and they should just own it as their own.
And I kind of like what Larkin's saying here. He says, we've got multiple superhero toy lines, multiple military toy lines. It'd be cool if others rose up too. I mean, it used to be that we had other transforming toys, and now it's just like you have Transformers and Beast Box, and then occasionally you get like crossover stuff out of left field. So it would be neat to see, an alternative with, kind of like take what Bobby Val is doing with Valaverse and apply that to transforming robots.
That's not safe.
Ooh. All right. I'm going to throw this one to the chat while we keep on going through the news here. But pour through your geek brains. If someone could, like Bobby Vala found Action Force, which was that old 70s toy line, what could you do to make an independent toy line that you could hijack the robots from? We'll come back to that in 10 minutes.
I've already got an idea.
We'll talk after the news then.
I just got to remember the name of the toy line. It was not GoBots.
And I don't mean like the converters and stuff like that. I'm talking about like.
Nope. Oh God, I know it was like from the early 2000s.
Oh, think about it.
We'll think about it. No need.
So yeah, our next bit is a figure that was supposed to be out early this year. Well, actually, I think it was supposed to be out late last year / early this year. Finally in the test shot phase. It's one that I've been looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this is Bond, I believe, from X-Transbots. He's finally in the test shot phase. This is their punch counter punch. We don't get a robot mode picture, just a picture of the car mode in plastic. Has he
Mhm.
been done in a proto before?
No.
So yeah, this is the first time he's going outside of a render. I mean,
Well, oh no, I take it back. Because
No,
Sony had
he-
pictures of last
Yeah.
TFCon.
okay, so he was present there.
And
Right.
he said the head looked, it didn't work good.
Well,
Oh,
it was a very poorly put together 3D print, I think, that they were showing pictures of. The paint was really sloppy looking.
hmm.
But this looks, I mean, the test shot looks good. So, and apparently they're close because I think I saw on Facebook they were saying September for this release.
Hmm.
Take that for what it is.
Dang it, see, now I got the GoBot song stuck in my head.
I can't even remember the GoBot song.
He was whistling it just a second
I've
ago.
already moved on to One Sweet Day.
I'm like trying to rack my brain to figure out what that toy line was called.
You said
And
it's
it
2000?
is not. It was the early 2000s. It was on. There was like a hybrid anime cartoon that was on Fox Kids. It was CG.
You mean that stupid
And it was
Dino
like-
Jam show?
Yeah, where they were like they were like chromed fossils, and the
Yeah,
bad
Band-Aid
guy.
Dino Jam. Yeah.
Now
I know
the
exactly
show
what you're talking about.
the show was terrible, but if you were to like take an
God
existing
awful.
property and you know like that, my whole philosophy, instead of remaking good movies and games, let's take the ones that were good ideas but didn't stick the landing. And I'm just saying, like, if you go back and look at like you know, the original Action Force, there are people that have fond memories of that, but has the source material aged all that well? You know, you get what I'm saying? We'll get into our non third party news and go ahead and kick things off. Well, I guess our regular toy line news. This one's more of, it's actually less toy news and more entertainment news. But this one got me. So we had two celebrities pass away this week. Tina Turner passed away, unfortunately, last night, and then earlier in the week, Ray Stevenson had passed away. Ray Stevenson was in a lot of stuff. He's like one of those actors that had been in a ton of stuff, but you probably didn't really remember. I loved Punisher
Dinosaurs.
Warzone. Dinosaurs, thank you.
Dinosaur.
So
Yep.
yeah. So unfortunately, Ray Stevens passed away. He was Gar Saxon in Clone Wars, and he was actually reprising the role. He's one of the kind of like Katie Sackhoff, actually reprising his animated role in live action. So he's gonna have a posthumous appearance in Ahsoka. But yeah, really sad. The underrated actor, in my opinion.
He was also Firefly in the second G.I. Joe movie.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So
I didn't even realize Firefly was in. Oh, okay. I'm thinking Snake Eyes. He was in Retaliation.
yes,
Okay.
He was in Thor.
yep, he was Volstagg. And the Punisher, and I mean, it's unfortunate. And he was very young. I mean,
Yeah,
58.
Mhm.
Well, not very young. But...
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, in terms of kind of celebrity age. So very unfortunate. It would be cool to see him get like a hot toy figure of. I really liked his depiction of Frank Castle. I thought it was really underrated. I think a lot of people.
It was an interesting one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It was probably the most comic accurate. I just remember him hitting one of the parkour guys with a rocket launcher.
God, I was gonna say that's the best scene in the movie. And that guy, they're playing like the extreme parkour music, and that they're doing flips over the rooftop, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you see, and the guy just explodes into bits.
Yep.
But,
Who's Jigsaw in that movie?
all right, I can't remember. I remember he was.
Oh, it was shit. Now you asked me. Now I said it. Yes, and I knew. Frick.
Can the Punisher be near Ghost Rider?
Dominic West.
There you go.
Yeah. Wait, what did you say? The Punisher what?
Can the Punisher be near Ghost Rider? Since he's basically a serial killer.
Okay.
But he only kills the bad
Do you
guys.
have Cosmic Ghost Rider? Do you have Cosmic Ghost Rider?
No. I mean, I
The
got
Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yeah.
action figure, yes.
The Cosmic Ghost Rider is Frank Castle being the spirit of vengeance.
No.
Just so you know.
How does he survive not being killed by Ghost Rider?
He became the spirit of vengeance.
Or does Ghost Rider just pick and choose who he wants to punish?
Zarthos, yes, Zarthos had basically figured he was a better avatar of vengeance.
Okay.
Literally, his heart was in it better than God's place.
Okay.
Actually, before we get into the West Coast box set, Mike, in the notes you have here that there's a mail away for Action Force.
Yeah.
I can't find any details on that.
Okay.
It's on Oliver's Facebook page.
Yeah, I
I'm
had some
throwing my
pictures.
boxes away and forgetting to cut off the points.
Well, yeah. Basically, next week they're going to show an exclusive figure that people can purchase and use their action points on the back of their boxes to help pay for it or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of reminiscent of what we had back in the 80s with G.I. Joe. But the figure will be revealed next week, and it's $14.99 for the figure plus shipping, which is about $8. And he gives instructions on what it's going to be, and it's 20 action points per figure, with max of two figures per person. So,
And then you have to mail in the action points with a copy of you have to print out a copy of your purchase of the figure.
yep. So, oh, it's pretty interesting. And it's something that, everyone else was expecting it to be another thing for Joe Fest, but I see this as he's giving another option, because since people can go down and possibly get the exclusive Eclipse figure, this is another way to get something, and use those points for it. Not saying there's not going to be anything else down there, but
So that was the third Certain Games Go said the guitarist from Earth, Wind, and Fire, Sheldon Reynolds, also passed away.
Isn't that 2 out of 3? Yeah.
No, that would be 3 with Tina Turner. To re-rail myself here, I think this is cool. So I'm not really familiar with the Action Force. So each figure comes with 20. So basically, you just have to have bought one figure. And
For each figure comes with like 1 or 2 points.
yeah,
okay. So
each figure is like 2 points. There was the BotCon exclusive for Wasp Raider that was 3 points.
Mhm.
Most of the gear packs are like 1 or 2 points. So you see how you just keep buying and adding them up from there.
okay.
Wasp Raider should have been 4 points or 5.
So, but yeah, it's interesting. So I mean, we'll see what this figure is. I'm assuming it's a figure and not something else. But I mean, for $14 plus $8 shipping, still less than what you might get for a Legends.
Yeah.
And with accessories.
Cool stuff. Let's get into this Amazon exclusive West Coast Avengers set. So, yeah, this is part of that.
Hold on.
I think all.
Before you start this, before you start this,
This week in repaints.
So I believe this.
that's what this box is.
Yeah. So this went up for pre-order today, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Because is this tiger even a repaint? Like I feel like she's the exact same as the classics one.
Changed the shade of orange.
Yeah.
So
And the Iron Man's a repaint.
yeah, that was the wall. I think that's exactly the same as the Walgreens exclusive one that came out a couple years ago.
Jessica
It is.
Drew has double-pointed elbows now.
I want to say
So-
that Jessica Drew that version of Jessica Drew wasn't that part of the mailaways?
Hmm?
I want to
Oh.
say that's a issue too.
Oh,
I'm trying to figure out.
Random red seed dude.
Well, that's Hank Pym.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Mockingbird.
Yeah, that's not Jessica Drew. That's the other Spider Woman.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, what's her name?
Her name is I'm not buying this set.
Oh, neither am I. And the worst part is Mockingbird. As I said in our group chat, they screwed up Mockingbird because she's supposed to have these long, flowing sleeves, and they could have used the one from Lady Deathstrike for that because the opening is supposed to be at the front of her sleeve, not in the forearm part of it.
Right. And that's
Not
Julia
according to
Carpenter.
Hartford.
Yes, thank you.
We'll say the box is very cool though. I'll give
Yeah.
it that.
It's a neat way to repackage reissues.
Yeah. So this comes in at 124, which really isn't that bad. All the figures are coming in at retail, though. I wish they had an accessory shot. You know, it's apparent that some of them are coming with alternate hands, or I'm sorry, at least alternate heads. In the case of
Do
Tigra,
you have a picture of the back of the box?
Unfortunately, I don't see one. I can check the Amazon listing.
They have one, and they show you the accessories that's coming with each one.
Yeah, if we go over to Amazon, we can see. So, yeah, you're at least getting alternate hands for Iron Man. Mockingbird comes with, 2 pairs of weapons, 2 pairs of hands. Tigra, head and hands. Spider Woman, extra hands. Hank Pym, 2 hands. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not hateful as far as pricing is concerned, but in the same deal, it's just like I think back to just a few years ago when these box sets were sold at a discount because you're getting all the figures packaged together.
The only place that does that now is Target. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Definitely when it's Transformers.
Like I said, it's definitely an easy pass for me.
Next up, we got
I
a
mean,
little
I
bit
got most
more.
of those figures already.
Oh, go ahead, Dave.
I just said I got most of these figures already in one form or another.
You got to get Hank Pym as a guy, a regular guy.
Now, I'm curious what you think about this one. This is the Squadron Supreme Nighthawk and Blur. This is going to be a Pulse exclusive, though it says it's coming to other retailers. I'm assuming like Entertainment Earth.
We can't see it on your screen, man.
Oh, weird. Why is it still sharing that? All right, take 2. Here we go. So Squadron Supreme and Blur. Again, like I said, this is coming in as Pulse and e-tailer exclusive. Very light on the accessories here, and this is a $50 set.
$25 figure, and I mean, I've never been a Squadron Supreme fan.
That's
Period.
secretly Batman.
Well, the whole idea of Squadron Supreme was basically what the hell was that?
That was T-Spin
Anyway, the
vibrating.
Squadron Supreme.
Shouldn't be.
Jesus Christ! That's right. That was my Fortnite figures all falling again. Squadron Supreme was a way for Marvel to basically have JLA versus the Avengers. So they made their own JLA with Hyperion being like Superman, Nighthawk being like Batman, Blur or the Wizard being like the Flash, Dr. Spectrum is Green Lantern, and I can't remember who. I think Power Princess is Wonder Woman. So, and then they made an evil version called Squadron Sinister, and then the Squadron Supreme went their own Earth, and they had their own story where they took over the world like a dystopian future, like the Justice Lords.
Yep, passing.
I've never been interested in it. Yeah, easy pass. I have no
I kind of like the yellow guy.
The only good thing to come out of this, good thing to come out of this of the Squadron Supreme is the fact that one of the Squadron Sinister Wizard, what ended up becoming Speed Demon, is one of my favorite spider villains, and that's about it. Like, seriously, these goddamn Fortnite figures, none of them ever stand.
Speed Demons.
Then we
There's
get
some
one.
foot stands on my page.
Next one, we get a Walmart exclusive classic version of Star-Lord.
Yep. Which, going back on Walmart's page, he is now back out of stock, unfortunately.
I feel like this will probably be an easier one to find in stores. Like he's selling out online. I think they're trying to get FOMO, but I mean, this is. I don't think what modern audiences really look at as being Star-Lord. I mean, Star-Lord has not looked like this in a long time. So I think when he does make his way to stores, people aren't going to know, or they're not going to see it, because I see like the comic version of Yondu clogging up the pegs lately. So
yeah, he had his little bit where he wasn't able to be found. Now he's, like you said, he's everywhere. This, I'm trying to see what book they used for this. But like the big book.
That is like the original 1970.
No, not the design. The figure, the sculpt. What buck is that?
Oh, that's Vulcan.
Is
I
it?
want to say that's the Vulcan buck.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not this
Star-Lord.
one. The UK
Star-Lord got
Spider-Man.
his resurgence. If you can ever find a copy of it, is a cosmic crossover called Annihilation. That is probably one of the coolest and tightest crossovers they ever had, and that's when again Star-Lord started becoming popular again, because they just pulled him out of nowhere and made him awesome.
Yeah, and then it got ruined by Brian Michael Bendis later, but that's besides the point.
That's a rite of passage. Everyone gets ruined by Brian Michael Bendis at some point.
I can't believe how many figures that they're putting out that make me go pass.
You're not wrong.
I mean, do you think maybe in a lot of cases with the Marvel Legends stuff, the well's starting to run dry a little bit? Like they're doing retreads, and I feel like we're at this weird standstill with them, like with that West Coast Avengers pack, where I know Dave ran the This Week in Repaints, but I'm not seeing any like. I feel like they're not improvements, and more of like, hey, if you missed your opportunity to get these figures the first go round, like the between the Iron Man and Tigra, if you missed them for whatever reason, here's your opportunity.
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, I'm looking at my Marvel Legends shelf right now. I mean, I'm looking at almost. It's like they're there and they're not. Like I have almost like a complete new Warriors team except for Namorita. I've got, I look at the Spider Villains shelf. I'm like, who could I have? And it's like I think they got all the major villains there. Yeah,
that's probably our problem. Every day they're probably getting a new collector who's just now starting, like Jordan's saying.
Yeah, I mean, they do have to cater to those people too, and I think that they need to have, as many Iron Man and Captain America and Thor figures they've done. You have to have that evergreen option for people that like want to get in. They go, oh, I'd really like to build the core team of Avengers. And
I was hoping by now that they would either have a separate line or every figure would have the new Spider-Man articulation, whereas the actual ab crunch and the diaphragm and toe joints, and like everybody has multiple hands and a different head for $25. But now the regular figures are $25.
It's kind of interesting that you mentioned that. I feel it's interesting with the Transformers lines especially with when Siege kicked off, they standardized articulation Like well, every character has to have ankle pivot. Every character has to have, for the most part, they did away with ball joints on limbs. They keep it on Studio Series, but that's one of the differences between Studio Series and Siege Legacy. I wish they would do that across the board with Marvel Legends. I remember like when you and I first started talking, and I first started watching your reviews. Like I remember there were figures that didn't have ab crunch, and that was a big deal back in like 2014. Whether a figure. I remember for you specifically, lack of ab crunch was a deal breaker, and here I was like mostly just collecting Transformers. I was like, I don't know. Like, the action figures haven't had it, and then handling a figure with it, you're like, oh wow, this is a game changer as far as posability is concerned.
I think the problem with Marvel Legends is since they're humanoids in suits, they're so used to saving money by using the same bodies over and over again. But with Transformers, every figure is a new character and with a completely different design. So they have to work hard as hell to figure out which body to reuse.
Yeah, and I feel like with Black Series, they don't often have that opportunity. They're doing it with that new Ahsoka because they're not giving her the. I think Matt pointed it out. They're not giving her the midriff, and they're giving her the wrong costume. But like Lightning Collection and Classified, they definitely have more universal articulation. Now it like pisses me off with those reissues for Lightning Collection. They're done way better with like drop down hips and the new necks and everything.
Oh God, that officially in some ways is getting me out. I'm almost dropping Lightning because of that.
I'm basically there. I basically, as I've mentioned, I want Bulk and Skull if they do them. I want Babu and Squat. I want Rito, and I'm kind of done. I don't have any interest in rebuying Rita. I don't have any interest in rebuying the Core Rangers. It's
weird with putting the Dragon Shield on Jason and the Green Ranger not having one.
I think in the case of that version of Jason, that was an SDC exclusive for you to get the Dragon Shield on him. Because I also have that Walgreens exclusive.
No, but the Red Ranger is coming with the Dragon Shield.
Right,
if you buy the Green Ranger, he doesn't have the Dragon Shield. That doesn't make sense at all. Because he always had the Dragon Shield except for like 38 seconds when he gave it to somebody else.
Right. But I guess that's their way of initiating a cross-buy, and then also kind of try. I think that's a psychological thing. So like what I was saying with that SDCC pack, I never got it. The one that had it was like Jason as the Red Ranger with the Dragon Shield, and him as the Gold Ranger from Zeo. So I never got I got the Gold Ranger, but I never got him as with like the Jason head. And for me, it didn't matter because I don't display mine with their helmets off.
Right, but I'm just Anyway,
Pig's right. You gave it to Jason in that one episode. So.
Yeah, one episode. That was it.
And Zach in one episode.
Right. All right. We're gonna go ahead. We'll get into some McFarlane. Well, actually, no. We'll do a Hot Toys segment first. We never really look at Hot Toys, but I feel like this is one that is going to get a lot of people buying Hot Toys. They're doing the Michael Keaton Batman from the Flash movie, and he actually looks like Michael Keaton.
Looks fucking amazing.
So where's the spoiler? Matt will buy it.
My problem with that, not the toy, but just in the movie, I refuse to believe that if he was continued to be Batman, that he never figured out a way to make a mask that can rotate. That drove me crazy in the original movie because I thought it looked dumb.
And the eyes actually
great.
move. It looks really good.
Well, if he wants to look left or right, he can just take the cow off.
It's easy to look apart. I mean, we saw him do that. So. Yeah. Definitely looks cool.
He's Batman.
Now it looks like they're giving him, and maybe it's just how he's posed there, but it looks like they're giving you a younger face right there in the middle. Am I mistaken on that?
No, I think you're accurate on that. At least the way it looks right there.
Yeah. So like, if you wanted him to be the '89 Batman, well, let's go back.
You just won't have the yellow belt unless that's one of those. Unless there's something in the accessories that show it.
Yeah.
It looks. I mean, it looks good. It's a Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it won't. And it looks like it won't. The suit won't degrade like the Mezco one apparently will in a couple of years.
Well, I mean, Hot Toys had that issue with the Deadpool. Like there's a time where I wanted the
that issue with
Deadpool.
their Hulk.
Yeah, the Hulk was another one.
Yeah.
Where the joints, it would.
Leather
Worth
is
really-
probably going to degrade.
Yeah.
Maybe I should sell my Ghost Rider while I have the chance.
Was it 350?
250. Yeah.
We're gonna get.
Anyway, next.
We'll get through some McFarlane stuff. I think this one's already out, but this is the Dark Flash that's coming out, or as I mentioned, might
It's out.
already
I
be
saw
out.
it today.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is this is the 12-inch one though.
Oh,
So
so it's just the statue.
12-inch Dark Flash. So yeah, this one's more of a statue. But I have seen the 7-inch Dark Flash.
I'm going to say this. The 12-inch figures have not done well. I have seen all the 12-inch Riddlers on closeout at GameStop.
Yeah, I think that
Um,
he needs to just make them larger figures. I think that was done with Adam, but the problem is Black Adam just, I don't think, really resonated with audiences for that toy line to even be successful.
Nope.
That and he wasn't tall enough.
Right. So he had two things going against him.
Well, the
Like,
attitude was a mega figure. It was like the Killer Croc and the Bane. So they made two versions of it, the regular one and the mega version. But these are just statues.
Yeah.
And I guess I hardly ever see them move from a shelf.
Actually, we'll skip over
I
this
see
next
them
one.
move off the shelf into clearance.
We'll go ahead and we'll highlight this one here. So I think this got cut from last week's news, but Mezco is doing the recovery suit version of Superman. So the black suit that he had.
He wore it in like three issues.
Yeah.
It looks great.
So he actually comes with the rocket boots and effects parts. Comes with a shaved face option.
2 guns.
Yep. I remember when he geared up there. He was putting on the gear because he had just gotten out of the recovery capsule, and he goes, and like, your powers haven't come back. He's like, well, it's okay. People call me the world's biggest Boy Scout. And he puts on the gear, and he's like, always be prepared. And then Superboy was shouting behind him, "We'll earn some merit badges." God, why do I remember this crap?
That's goofy.
The hand
guns aren't realistic. He gets to come with them.
the hand holding the Eradicator head looks great.
Yeah, that's a cool accessory.
That's Hank Headshaw. That's Cyborg Superman.
Oh, Cyborg. Yeah, no, the Eradicator's sunglasses or glasses are up there though. That's what I had him.
He
switched around.
wore them for a reason. I can't remember why.
It was the 90s. It was cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they've never done like a Hank Henshaw like I don't really think they've depicted the episode or the whole series, which was kind of was that like Dave, was that after Fantastic Four? Because it was kind of like a parody of it in a way. That whole issue.
In a way, I mean,
because like they go into space, they get hit by waves, they transform.
Oh yeah, Hank Henshaw was 90s. He was a 90s character.
Okay, so he was okay. I was not really into DC in the 90s, so I have seen that issue. I've read that issue online where he he basically disintegrates, and it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that was 90s. I thought it was earlier.
Yeah,
but
it was the big reveal that
more or less right when he came in as Cyborg Superman.
Yeah. So $95.
Yeah.
We might get it in, and it's supposed to come out early next year, but from what I'm learning about Mezco, that schedule is about as bad as X-Transport. So
I do think this tattered cape and makeshift flagpole is a really awesome accessory.
Yes,
under 100 is good.
Yeah, especially with all the accessories you get, like you get quite a bit.
I remember if Mafex has one out yet. Has one coming out or not?
I don't know. I know they did Cyborg, but did they do any other ones for Mafex?
And Jay, I never did play DC Universe Online. I never got
fun.
it.
It's still live. You can still play it.
My buddy Justin, he was always trying to get me to play City of Heroes, though.
I like that one.
Raved was really good.
God, I loved City of Heroes. That's the only game I ever paid for. Like, did a subscription service for. I was up till 4 in the damn morning playing that all the time.
We're gonna get into. We got one more article before we get into our headliner. This is from Jada, their Chun-Li figure. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think of those Jada Street Fighter figures, especially compared to the Figuarts. This Chun-Li looks really, really spot on. I mean, if you didn't know this was Jada, you'd think this was an import figure.
Yep. I can give you a brief opinion on it. They are super duper close to import, and they come with almost the same amount of accessories, except SH Figuart seems to come with 3 faces, and sometimes they'll have another set of hands, but they seem to be coming with the same exact accessories. And these look more like the actual video game artwork.
Yes. The Figuarts one were very anime inspired.
Yeah.
Like
they're
certain
based
ones
on
were.
Street Fighter 5.
Well, not all of them were.
Kinda. The box said Street Fighter 5, but I was like, Ryu isn't as thick as he is in the game.
Mm-hmm. And like Sakura definitely looked like she did in Alpha. Like,
I'm messing with both of them. I took this one to work with me. The articulation is better on the course on this. Like, even this doesn't have a bicep swivel. The way the arms work just looks better and looks more natural.
Are you bringing those tomorrow?
The Jada ones, yeah.
Sweet.
I mean,
Thank Michael.
The Figuart fighter body is excellent, plain and simple. I mean, I'm probably most anticipating the Vega from this line.
Yeah.
And the Zangief.
I'd really like to see what they do with E Honda, because really Storm's the only company that's did Storm even release the E Honda?
Yeah, oh yes, E Honda came out.
Yeah.
I think with the Storm, like I've got the Storm Street Fighters, and they look good, but their posability still just does not quite. They're so bulky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after messing with that Ryu, I didn't want it anymore. I think they changed how they worked the articulation. Because that Ryu had like ball jointed ankles. And I really didn't like
I
that.
still like. I love the Sagat figure. I mean, I don't have many Street Fighters from them, but I love the Sagat. Plain and simple. But I mean, again, this line I am so excited for.
Yeah, I think for $25 action figures, these are awesome and blow other figures out of the water. Like articulation and movement and all that. Like stuff I was wanting for years from Hasbro or like I was excited about with like McFarlane. I was like, look at this, you can do all this and blah blah blah. And I was like, there's so many points of articulation, but then it's so hindered. Like these like move crazy. And the way they set up this gi, the way it comes apart, you don't have to worry about it not coming back together. Like the peg has a peg through the belt that really holds it on securely.
You know what I am going to bring tomorrow is I can bring these guys. If you're interested, the Power Ranger Street Fighter crossover stuff.
If they had the unmasked faces, I would have bought them.
Yeah, it is strange that they didn't do that. It's really
crazy strange,
really odd, especially since the Turtles crossovers had, which is it's very odd to think about. And the Turtles ones were just the same. So Mike Pake is telling you that you need to get a 9-volt battery and put that in your smoke.
I will do that. It must have just started whenever I was up here. So for you, Pake, I'll do it next week.
You can hear beeping.
Yeah, from the so I'm gonna assume, you know what they say about people that assume, but I'm gonna assume Henry's been in the same boat that I've been in, where you have a smoke detector and you're trying to figure out which one it is. You got multiples in the house. I alleviate that every time we do spring forward or fall back. I change all the batteries in the house. That's just one thing that I do. My grandfather always kind of instilled that in me, and I was just like, that's dumb. And I became a homeowner, and then the moment you have that going on, and it's just like driving you nuts. I remember before I bought my first house, the place I was living at, the smoke detectors had this electronic voice. I remember being scared shitless at like 3 a.m. I just woke up in the middle of the night hearing "change battery now," and I was like, I did like a Dave really. But let's re-rail this.
One of those weird people that got triggers. I haven't heard that thing beep all night.
Oh, so Henry's got the really fancy alarms. Said, not an issue for me. I have Nest alarms, and they tell me exactly which one is running low. So Henry is officially.
It's all good
fancier.
until you pick off. It's all good until you piss off the people in Google and they just say, "We're disabling your alarms."
Yeah. So last bit of news that we're going to cover for tonight. There is more, but just for the sake of time to keep this moving along, so we have a pretty big day tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
We get a teaser from NECA. I mean, who didn't see this coming? They're going to be doing the Turtles from the third movie in their samurai gear. I have zero interest in this at all. I hate that third movie, and I'm just like I don't need representation of the Turtles from that movie. What I yeah. I mean, give me like the it'd be awesome.
Turtle.
Teenage Mutant Samurai Turtles.
They're not adolescent radioactive samurai reptiles.
Right. I mean, I want Tatsu still. I want the David Werner scientist character. Give me the Sam Rockwell foot soldier. But I don't need any of these. Any of you guys interested in these?
Nope.
Not at all.
$120 saved.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be 150.
I don't know.
$30 a
It's-
figure, 4 figures, 120.
Yeah, NECA's kind of weird with the pricing. I'm sure though
The
they'll
last
have
set
like.
was 150.
Well, that was the cartoon ones though.
Okay,
These are gonna be
whatever.
bigger than that.
It's still 100. It's still money I don't have to spend. All right, I'm not going to argue what I'm not spending because either way, I'm still not spending it.
Now I'm curious.
Are you spending it?
I'm really curious if they're going to do the Paige Turco version of April O'Neil, since they're getting into this, and then also, I forget like how they wrote him in. Was Wit supposed to be Casey's ancestor? Well, I can't even remember. I can't even.
I never watched this movie.
I watched this movie exactly one time a billion years ago.
Yeah, I've kind of erased it from my mind. But
It
it's
was
on
a-
Flex.
It was a movie that when I was a kid, I saw multiple times, and I knew I didn't like it. But it was one of those things where when you're a kid and a sequel to a movie comes out, you kind of have to act like you're supposed to like it because you're like, oh, it's Ninja Turtles and we're supposed to. Honestly, this is like the event that kind of made me fall out of love with Turtles as a kid.
It wasn't just you.
Oh, I know it wasn't just me. I remember, like, we did the Angry Video Game Nerd parody at the beginning of this, but I recall like James Rolfe saying that was like one of the factors that kind of like had him fall out of like Turtle Mania. And I just remember like seeing the movie and you go to sleep over at a friend's, or I'm younger than you guys, so go to sleep over at a friend's house. And, oh, we have Turtles 3 on VHS, and oh, cool, let's watch it. And then just sitting there, wanting to play Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, or even just go the fuck to sleep. That movie was so bad. But yeah, I think this is the first time that NECA's come out with a set that I'm just like, yeah, no. I'd rather see that their comic turtle 4-pack or however they're going to do those, because I know they've shown them, but they haven't said how they're going to sell them.
Somewhere out there, someone's going to be thrilled. But the thing is, I will say this. Right. This is I think this is all that needs to be said. It's kind of like those NECA movie monster turtles. All right.
Right.
They were not my bag, but they were done impeccably. In fact, I just saw the Casey Jones Phantom of the Opera today, and it almost I held the box longer than I should have, but I still put it back because it's not my bag. But these will be done impeccably. I will give full credit to NECA. The samurai armor, I'm sure, will be looking near flawless. Everything, the buckles will be there, the paint will be there. And so if this is your bag, I absolutely will have confidence that you will be happy with this product.
So here's the question then. Is it Turtles 3 that knocked you out of
I'm
it?
still not.
Or was it Turtles coming out of their shells tour?
No, I love the coming out of their shells tour. Like, honestly, and like when that box set came out, I bought it without hesitation because I listened to that cassette tape front to back as a kid. I watched I didn't own the VHS, but I would rent it. I'd watch it. I actually loved that. I loved the music that they did. Like it was like shitty rock music, but like it was catchy. I still love Pizza Power. Like I have the Turtles in Time cabinet in my basement. Like I sometimes love to just leave that fucker in track mode so I can hear Pizza Power play.
I think around the time this movie came out, I was older, and this should have just been stopped by then. Like the cartoon, I couldn't. Saturday morning cartoon, I couldn't watch it. I was like, all of their enemies were already dumb and getting beat up all the time, and they were doing like the next mutation where they evolved and turned to Hulks. I was like, ugh, I can't watch this. Then that movie came out. Then that ugly TV show came out, I was like, yeah, I completely lost interest in
Well,
Turtles.
the TV show was like way later in the 90s. That was like when Power Rangers in Space was like, because they had that crossover with the Power Rangers
Yeah.
and the Turtles.
Mhm.
I could not do it. Not until the 2003 or 4 Turtles came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of note, though, the soundtrack is on Spotify. So
Well, shit. I know what I'm going to be doing while I'm working tomorrow.
there you go.
So,
And coming out of your shell, I was like, ugh.
come on, man. I was,
They look
I was,
like
I was
trash.
like 6 or 7 when that shit came out. I was probably 7.
You have an excuse.
Yeah, but I unironically love Pizza Power, and I thought the song "Skipping Stones" was pretty good.
When I saw those commercials, I was like, their mouths don't even move, and they stay constantly open.
I'll tell you, nothing's worse than that. Have you ever seen the Mortal Kombat version of that? Like, it wasn't music, but they did like a stage show. After we wrap up, I'll send it to you. Like, we're like,
Oh,
have
no,
these
the
martial
Thundercats
artists-
one was worse.
I didn't even know there was a Thundercats one.
Yep, and the Silverhawk
No, they look
flew at the end
good.
of it.
Oh wow!
From the footage I saw of the Thundercats, they look spot on. Like, that almost looked like it was from a movie.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. The
Scary.
Mortal Kombat one, you have like these martial artists talking about like how martial arts are like positive for kids, but like the martial artists didn't know jack shit about Mortal Kombat or what it was, or where like the parental outrage was. So they're like out there like talking out their ass, like thinking they're doing something really positive.
And then they rip somebody's spine out.
Right. I'll put that interview in the group chat. I'll probably share it on social media too. But it's a funny one to watch. So yeah, because before we wrap up, we'll be doing a meetup. Oh, what's up, T?
Oh no, I was looking at what effortlessly random just put in the chat about that's why I
rock and
remember
roll.
what Dave told me earlier.
Yeah, so rock and roll's in stock at BBTS. I'm guessing he'll probably hit Amazon. It's weird. BBTS has been on a streak of getting stuff ahead of everybody, which is very unusual. Because I know
that
Deluxe got his Armada Prime from them already.
damn.
Yeah, and mine still says September. I'm fine with that. I want him to come out when he's supposed to come out. I don't need him now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There goes my
But
review.
yeah.
There goes my review hits.
So tomorrow, it's Dave, Matt, Mike, and Sony and I are all be meeting up. So may have some bonus footage to put up. So before you head on out.
Did you say Dave? Did you
I
say
said
Dave?
Mike. I did not. I said everybody for Dave.
You did
No,
say
Jake.
Dave accidentally.
Well, I accidentally said Dave.
He'll be there in spirit.
Dave will be there in spirit. I'll Photoshop you in.
I was gonna say the mask is gone.
So yeah. I wonder what happened to that
Rest in
mask.
peace.
Yeah.
I still wonder what the hell they were thinking when they saw it there.
Hopefully one day I get to meet him on the other side and we find out what happened to it and have a good laugh. But so tomorrow T, Matt, Mike, and I, along with Kevin and Winston, will be hanging out with Sony. So we might have some bonus footage from our meetup. I was talking to Alex earlier. I do want to get the meetups back up and running this summer. So hopefully we have those. So anybody in the DMV area, when we do have these, will be more than welcome to attend. So make sure you follow us on Facebook. I'm going to get better about updating our page on Facebook and put out that information. Alex was telling me he was talking with Max from All Time Toys and wants to get these larger meetups back up and running. So hopefully we have those. We always got some good footage out of those. So, again, be sure to check that out. I'll post them on TFW when they're happening, as well as our Facebook page, and announce them here on the show. So if you're in the DMV area, we're going to have that stuff kicking off again this summer. So again, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. And Dave, do you have the next figure reaction lined up yet?
I do. Well, first of all, Princeton failing to remember, being Daveless is like being pantsless. Might feel a little cold and breezy at first, but it's rather freeing. But this coming Tuesday, we will be having the definitive episode of Figure Reaction. My guest actually will be Mike from Junkie on Crafts and a guy named Nick
Niles.
Niles.
Niles. Sorry.
Niles French.
Nick and Mark.
Nick and Mark.
Yep. It's going to be Nick and Mark on there.
Yep. It'll be Nick and Mark. I'll be hit that notification bell today. I'll be putting the thing up on YouTube, the little reminder thing, in probably the next 12 hours or so. But Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we will be having the definitive episode. Because just what is definitive? And that's what we'll be talking about.
Should be fun.
Awesome.
Awkward silence. Awkward silence.
I'm looking forward. I have an inkling of what the definitive discussion will be about. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's coming up at 9 on Tuesday, you said?
Yes.
9 p.m. Eastern time.
9 p.m.
So
Eastern.
everyone will have recovered from Memorial Day. Everyone will have their food comas out of them. There will be no one will be being pulled from any barbecues, because that is just cruel to do to a man.
100%.
I wouldn't do that to them.
All right. So be on the lookout for that. So, as I said, slam that like button on your way out if you haven't done it already. Shout out and thanks to everybody in our live chat who hung out with us tonight. I saw Jay says he's interested in meeting up with us. It's been a long time. I don't think I've seen you in over 3 years. So it'd be cool to see some faces again, get these meetups back off the ground. So that'll do it for tonight. We'll see you all next week right here on the Figure Action YouTube channel, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Peace out. Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Later.